I would like to point out an interesting linguistic point at the beginning of our parsha. When the Torah speaks about the purity of Yoledet, the Tum'at Yoledet, the Torah expresses it with the term Kenidata, V'tam'ash Waim Kenidata, Kimei Nidat Dvota Titma. It's like the impurity of Nida. Now this is interesting because at the beginning of Parsha we don't really know what Nida is yet. The term Nida is only mentioned for the first time at the end of our Parsha. So why would you explain the variation before you actually explain the original term? When you write any academic paper, you first lay down the fundamental terminology and then you explain all the variations based on it, or the arguments you want to teach. Why does the Torah work the other way around? And the simple answer is, the Torah is not an academic paper. And we look at the Torah as a whole. Or rather, the order of things in the Torah usually, a lot of times, gives us the level of values, the different values and what is important comes first, and then come the rest of the things. So although our day-to-day life includes much more nida than yoledet, the Torah tells us that the creation of life comes first, and that is the most important thing. And bringing life to this world, yoledet, is what's at the beginning of the list. Nida, which is a result of life not being formed, is at the end of our parsha. So although it's more common, but when we look at our ideals, we open with yoledet, with bringing life to this world. Ending a difficult week in which a lot of holy lives have been taken, unfortunately, I think we should be proud to be part of a religion and a nation that puts bringing life to this world. And Baruch Hashem, the birth rate in Israel is one of the highest in the world, especially comparing to Europe and other places. And our great ideal is bringing life to this world. That is what opens our parsha, and that is what always is in our minds, and maybe Yisrael Hashem in a wider sense, always look how we can add health, life, and goodness to our world, to our nation, and to our people. Shabbat Shalom.